All right, so hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. You know that feeling right when you step off the plane in a new country?
Yeah.
The excitement is there, of course, but then you look around.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, like a maze of different checkpoints and lines, and it can feel pretty overwhelming if you're not quite sure
It can.
what's coming at you.
Definitely.
So that's exactly what we're going to break down today, how to navigate international airports with confidence, and especially using, some more advanced English to really, sail through those key stages of immigration.
Absolutely.
Customs security like a pro.
Like a pro.
And the goal here isn't just to give you like a basic checklist.
Right.
It's to really give you the insights and the language to do this efficiently.
Efficiency is key.
Yeah, and confidently.
Definitely.
So, less stress, more smooth sailing.
Exactly. It's all about, leveling up that arrival game so you can get to the enjoying your trip part faster.
I like that. So let's get into it first off. What are some of the biggest things that tend to trip people up when they first arrive at an international airport?
Okay, well, let's start with immigration. I'd say a lot of it boils down to preparedness or actually lack thereof.
Okay.
Fumbling for your passport, having it buried deep in your bag, not being clear on whether you even need a visa for that specific country.
Right.
These things can really cause delays.
And even like for short visits, right? Like depending on your nationality and where you're going, you might need a visa just to transit through.
Exactly. That's a good point. Transit visas are often overlooked.
Yeah.
And being ready to answer, those basic questions from the immigration officer clearly and concisely, that makes a big difference.
Totally. So once you're through immigration, you usually hit customs, right? What are the common hiccups there?
Yeah, so with customs declarations, it really comes down to awareness and accuracy. The rules about what you can bring into a country, those vary a lot.
Yeah, they do.
From food items to certain types of goods, it's different everywhere. Duty-free allowances, also, they're not standard.
Right.
So a little research beforehand, goes a long way.
It does.
I mean, imagine forgetting to declare something you thought was no big deal, and then suddenly you're facing delays or even penalties.
Yeah, you don't want that kind of souvenir from your trip.
No, you don't.
All right, and then, of course, there's security. I think we all know the drill with laptops and shoes, but are there other common slowdowns people might not anticipate?
Definitely. I'd say the liquids policy is a big one. Even experienced travelers sometimes forget about that water bottle they tucked away or, that oversized tube of toothpaste.
Oh, yeah.
Having your liquids in that clear, resealable bag and electronics easily accessible, that just streamlines things so much.
It does.
And yes, random inspections, those happen. But being cooperative and understanding that, it's part of keeping everyone safe, that helps keep things moving.
It does, yeah. It's all about being prepared and knowing what to expect. So beyond those specific checkpoints, do you have any general tips for navigating the airport like a seasoned pro?
This might sound obvious, but pay attention to the signs.
Okay.
Airports, they're designed to guide you, really.
Yeah.
So double check those gate information screens. And if you're eligible for fast track lanes, through airline status or a special program, absolutely take advantage.
Yeah, if you've got it, flaunt it, right?
Exactly. Knowing your way around, even just mentally, like glancing at a terminal map beforehand can save you a ton of time and stress.
That makes sense. Okay, so we've covered some of the common challenges now. Let's give everyone some powerful language tools to really up their airport communication game.
I love it. Let's do it.
So let's start with the phrasal verb check-in. What does that mean in the context of air travel?
So check-in, it basically means to register for your flight. While you used to have to do it at the airport counter, nowadays airlines really want you to check in online. Often you can do it days before your flight.
Right.
So you might hear announcements like, passengers are encouraged to check in online to avoid long lines at the airport. Or, if you're running late, if you arrive late, you may experience delays checking in your baggage.
Makes sense. Okay, we've all been there scrambling to check in online at the last minute.
Oh, yeah, I've done it.
All right, the next phrasal verb we have is hold up. What does that mean in this context?
So hold up basically means to cause a delay. Think of it like a temporary blockage in a process, like something stopping things from flowing smoothly.
Right.
For example, a missing visa can hold up the entire immigration process. Or, thinking back to those travel frustrations, the long line at customs held us up for nearly an hour.
Yeah, those unexpected holdups, they can really throw a wrench in your travel plans.
Tell me about it.
All right, last phrasal verb is wave through. This one sounds a lot more positive.
Oh, it is to wave through, means to allow someone to pass through a checkpoint quickly without a full inspection. So you might hear something like, frequent flyers with TSA pre-check are often waved through security. Or, hopefully this happens to you. Since I had nothing to declare, the customs officer just waved me through.
Fingers crossed that we all get waved through as much as possible.
I'm with you there.
All right, so we've got check in, hold up, and wave through. Now let's move on to some collocations. These are those combinations of words that naturally go together.
Sounds good.
First up, boarding gate.
So the boarding gate is that specific area in the terminal where you wait to actually board your plane.
Mm-hmm.
You'll hear announcements like, Flight 123 to London is now boarding at Gate B45. Or, please check your boarding pass for your assigned boarding gate number.
Right, and that's definitely not an announcement you want to miss.
No, you don't want to miss that one.
Okay, next, collocation security checkpoint.
The security checkpoint, that's where everyone and their belongings go through screening before they can enter the secure area of the airport. So you might hear things like, please allow ample time to clear security checkpoints, especially during peak travel hours. Or, remember to remove your shoes and place them in the bin at the security checkpoint.
Right. A place we all know and love. Maybe not love, but we know it.
We're very familiar with it.
All right, and the last collocation we have is customs declaration.
Customs declaration. This refers to the official form where you have to list out any goods you're bringing into the country that might be subject to taxes or restrictions.
Okay.
You might see signs that say, travelers with goods to declare must complete a customs declaration form.
Mm-hmm.
Or as a warning, failure to accurately complete your customs declaration can result in fines or penalties.
It's like taxes, but for stuff you bring into a country.
Exactly.
All right, so now we've got some more advanced vocabulary under our belts. Let's take a look at how this all comes together and some common communication mistakes that people make.
Okay, good idea.
Sometimes it's not about knowing the fancy words. It's about expressing yourself clearly and politely.
Yeah, for sure.
So imagine a traveler saying, I need go gate now. Plane leave fast.
I can feel the panic.
You get the sense of urgency, but it's not very clear. How could they rephrase that more effectively?
Yeah, much better would be, excuse me, I need to get to my boarding gate quickly.
Mm-hmm.
My flight is departing soon. It's polite, it's informative, it gets the message across.
Yeah, much better. Here's another one. Bag no open, I take it, said to a security officer.
Oh boy, that's not going to go well. A much more appropriate response would be, would you like me to open my bag for inspection? It shows respect and a willingness to cooperate.
Right. Politeness can go a long way, especially
Right.
when you're dealing with airport security.
Absolutely.
Okay, last one. Wear passport check.
I know, see.
Again, you understand what they're trying to say, but the phrasing isn't quite right. A better way to ask would be, could you please direct me to the passport control area? It's a clear and polite request. Right. So using complete sentences and a polite tone, those are key ingredients for successful airport communication.
They really are.
Okay, now let's move on to some bonus tips for maximizing efficiency when you're going through all these airport procedures.
Love it. Let's get efficient.
All right, tip number 1.
Have your passport and boarding pass ready to go. Don't wait till the last minute to dig them out of your bag. Have them in hand as you approach any checkpoint where you'll need them.
Right. It sounds simple, but it makes a huge difference for everyone.
It really does.
What's another pro tip?
Pre-sort your belongings before you get to security. Take out your liquids bag. Take out your electronics.
Mm-hmm.
Do it before you reach the conveyor belt. It keeps the line moving and it saves you stress.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm going to start doing that. And the last bonus tip for our listeners.
This one's all about preparation. Take a few minutes before your trip to look up the customs regulations for your destination country.
Okay.
Knowing what's allowed and what's not what you need to declare it can really prevent those unwelcome surprises and delays when you arrive.
Great advice. So we've covered a lot of ground here today. We've explored those crucial stages of entering an international airport, immigration, customs, security.
Yeah.
And we've armed you with more advanced vocabulary, those phrasal verbs, those collocations, and of course, some practical tips to make the whole process smoother.
Yeah. The key takeaway here is preparation combined with clear, confident communication can really make all the difference.
It can, and it can take you from feeling overwhelmed and stressed to feeling like you're in control and ready to enjoy your trip.
Exactly.
So next time you're at an international airport, remember what we talked about today. Remember to check in online ahead of time, know where to find the security checkpoint, and maybe even try using a new phrasal verb or two.
I love it.
You might be surprised how much smoother and more enjoyable that arrival experience can be. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks, everyone. Safe travels.
See you next time.